Hey guys, welcome back to the long-awaited final part for the tutorial to build a ruined hovel stroke Rohan house. If you've been following the other videos, this is roughly where you should be up to. We've got the basis of kind of the finished product from what we want here. As far as these parts go with the cladding, you can pretty much do whatever you want with that. You can have it as neat as it is now, you can put holes in it, you can put not as many planks on or broken planks. I just done it like that to show you the technique of getting that kind of finish. One thing that I would suggest, which I'm going to do, is I'm going to put an outer door frame on. So I will put 2 more planks covering the bottom of the actual door casing to build out from the walls section, and then I will picture frame in, if you like, a door frame just to finish that off. But I'll show you that when it's done. What we're going to do at this stage now, we're going to put the apex for the roof on, and yeah, just try and get an apex up that looks slightly damaged. So first things first, what we're going to do, I want the overall height from the floor to the top of the apex to be roughly about 100mm, like 4 inch. So all you need to do is get your steel rule or whatever measuring implement that you're using and measure up. We know that we're 55mm from the base with the existing structure that we have. So what we're going to want is a 45mm upright to sit in the centre here, going up to support the top of the apex. So if you cut yourself that, I've already cut one here, as you can see, and what I've done, you can see at the top, I've just made it into like a stake effect. You cut roughly, you don't have to be bang on with the cut, 45 degrees either way at the top. And what this is going to do, this is going to sit just here, and then we're going to have longer pieces which you can mark off once you get your upright cut into position, and you want it to overhang slightly like that, and you want to get yourself that cut. So just as an example, that is, it's just over 100mm, but if you cut yourself 2 pieces at 100mm, that's fine. Again, roughly a 45 degree angle at the bottom, sorry, so that it sits nicely on the frame. As far as the angles go here, you don't have to be too spot on. It's so small, the materials that we're using, that, you know, if it's a few degrees out here and there, it doesn't really matter. There would be other applications where your angles would have to be more precise, but for this in particular it doesn't have to be. It wants to look like an old ruined building, so there's a little few gaps here and there, it just adds to it. So if you get yourself those cut, and what I'll do is I'll come back in a second, I'll show you how we stick them on, and then you can follow them instructions and what we do with the pieces that overhang in the centres. Alright guys, so I'll come back in a second. Okay guys, as you can see, I've put the beginnings of the apex on. I super glued my central stanchion in line with the stanchion which I already had on the top of the door casing leading to the ring beam. I used my square to make sure that I glued that on and it was nice and square. I then glued on these struts. This one is a continuous strut and continues roughly about 8 to 10mm past, and then it's just squared off at the top. This one is cut slightly shorter, cut there with a butt joint, all glued up, and then this is just a small extra piece added on, again squared off at the top, just to give that bit of a finial on the finish. The next piece that we're going to put on is going to be the ridge, which we're going to use. This is roughly 70mm, and I've roughened up one end, as you can see, so it looks like it's snapped or burnt or broken off. Now with this, because it's going to be quite freestanding on its own, I need a little bit more strength. So as you can see, I've used a pinning method to put a pin in, and I've also put a hole in here. I'm going to apply some super glue and thread it through. When you put this on, the only thing that I will say is, just bear with me a second, the only thing that I will say is it's not to go on nice and square. This is to go on and stay with one of the corners pointing upward, like so. Can you see that? That's what I'm going to do. That the pin poking out the front slightly is fine, because that will end up, when it's painted up, it'll look like a timber joint basically with a timber pin in it, so that's fine. So just make sure that you don't put it on with a flat side up. Make sure that one of your corners is upright, like so. I'm going to glue all that together, strengthen up all the joints again. As you can see, when I was putting that in, you do get a bit of wobble. Again, once all your struts and your other patterns are on, that will take that out. But you can also go over with a dab of super glue on each joint just to strengthen it up, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to super glue this in, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the next stage. Alright, see you shortly. So, all that's glued down now. As you can see, it's all, I've strengthened all the joints, so it's nice and square. What I've done here, I don't know how well the camera will pick up, I've marked from this stanchion to here 10mm, and then in intervals of 20mm, and the same along the top. What I've then done, I've taken some balsa wood and I've cut myself just a handful, rough cut, you don't have to be bang on, some planks using the balsa, and these are going to sit on these marks. They need cutting down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, if I measure, it is 85mm. I want an overhang, so I'm going to cut all my planks in length to 90mm, which will give me an overhang on the eaves. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to stick these using the super glue nice and flush with the top corner on the marks which I have done. On this side, because I've got a nice undamaged, ring beam along this side, these three are going to be complete. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 complete, unbroken. On the other side, where we have no ring beam, these are going to be snapped and broken off and burnt. So what I'll do, I need 3 complete ones, like so. They're my 3 complete. And then for the other side, what I'll do, I'll just take planks that I've cut and I will just snap them and break them at different lengths, and probably just rough up the edges a little bit with my snips. Just get a nice finish on them there, so it doesn't look too neat. I want it to look like it's burnt off. Yeah, so we'll do that. I'm going to go away and stick them on, and then we'll come back in a second and I will show you how it should look. So there we go. As you can see, just adds a whole new dimension to it as soon as that goes on. Just looks a bit more house-like and starting to look like a damaged building. Like I said, we've got the overhangs here. I'll trim them off so they all match. These breakages are fine. What you can do sometimes, depending on the size of your roof, I probably will do on this, is put another strut along, but underneath. So underneath each of your beams, coming out and then breaking off in the centre. And the reason I do this is just because these are so fragile, because the only point of contact is there. So you could put, just as an example I will show you, like I say, I'll probably do it, but it will be off camera. I'll use this, it's not going to be as thick as this, obviously it's going to be the same size planking, but you would put it underneath, so you can attach it to this which has got the strength underneath, and it will hold those two. Just give them a little bit more structure and strength, and then obviously on there it's undamaged, so you can have it overhanging here like the ridge beam, and then just snaps off and burnt at the end. Not that that needs it, but then it just ties the two sides in. So I'm going to go away and do that off camera. But whilst we're on camera here, as you can see with this wall, I've left this wall as it was first made in the tutorial, and then this one I've just knocked a few blocks off and roughened up the edges, just to make it look like it's fell over or been knocked over, and that's really simple to do. All you do, you've already got the lines of which you can follow on your wall, so you cut down through the joint of the blocks like so, wherever you want the wall to be broken, and they will just pop off like that, and you can cut them off, and there we go. And then you can just rough up, take the edges off just with your knife like so, We can put some gouges in, etc. Just makes it look a bit more broken and battered. That just finishes that off, yeah. So we can do that. So in the next stage, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the struts on, like I said, on the roof, just to give that a little bit more strength. I'm not going to come back and go into that in detail, because it's you know, I've told you what I'm going to do, and it's really straightforward. You'll see it when I'm showing the ruin in the next stage of the video. What we will be doing is just now adding rubble and more detail to the base. Again, what I'll do off camera and add to the base, come back and show you, will be, if you can imagine what we've just built here with this apex. Obviously there's not anywhere for the apex to sit on here, so you would have the remnants of an apex somewhere on here where it's fell down, it's burnt away. It doesn't have to be a full apex like that, because like I say, it will have been burnt and some of it will have totally disintegrated. So I'll go away and do that and come back and show you. You don't have to copy it like for like. You can if you wish. It's totally now off your own back, and you know, from your own mind, how you want it to look. Just use your imagination with it, really. So I'll go away and do that, and then I'll talk over some of the ways that I've done it and why I've done it. And yeah, we're getting there now, so I'll see you in a second. So there we go, guys. As you can see, I've added the damaged second apex, some block rubble from the wall, just some stray timbers on the floor, etc. And with this one, that's pretty much as far as I'm going to go. I've got another 4 of these to build. They're all going to be slightly different, and I'll do a showcase for you guys to look at all the different styles and ways that I've done it. But that's the basic how-to on how I achieve this. The next stage of this would be the painting stage. Again, this is entirely personal preference where you'll go with that. I'm going to keep it very, very basic. The stonework along the bottom will be a charcoal grey, blackened with a blackened fire effect. All the timber, I'm going to do every bit of the timber black, highlighted up through greys, just to show that it's like burnt wood, etc. I will grit and sand the base. I'll probably put a few details on the outside, like a little pathway leading into the doorways, etc. May even build the odd broken door leading up inside or outside of the building. The basic idea of this build can be transported over to an actual build of a non-ruin. So the techniques that I've shown you on this, you can sort of put over, and you wouldn't have to do any damaged sides, and you could do a complete building. Obviously when it came to the roof, you don't have to go to the detail of putting all the joists in, etc. You could just build your structure with maybe, well, however you want the roof, whether you want it to be a tiled roof, a thatched effects roof, which you could use teddy bear fur with PVA down and then painted to look like a thatched roof. But yeah, that's the basics of the ruin. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I've got a lot more stuff coming in the new year, so if there's anything in particular that you want to see, if you let me know. We're going to do a lot of stuff so that you've got the basic terrain for a 4x4 game board to game on. That'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks. There's a lot of review vids. Hoping to do some more review vids for the unreleased miniatures. I want to get some Saga videos in, bat reps and tutorials on like how to play, etc. and the different factions, because that's a game that I'm looking to get into. And lots more Frostgrave and Hobbit stuff. We're also going to have some 40k stuff coming fairly soon, and then onwards towards running into February, we're going to try a few more different systems. So if there's anything that you particularly would like to see, whether it be a tutorial, a review, a bat rep, a look at a different system, let me know, put comments in the bottom. And like I say, I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, share and subscribe. Keep on gaming, and I will see you in the new year. Take care, guys.